Top 10 cursed artifacts that scientists can't explain. Number 10. The Screaming Skull of Burton Agnes Hall. The Screaming Skull of what? That sounds like a horror film right off the bat. Let's talk about it. The Screaming Skull of Burton Agnes Hall is a legend surrounding an English county house in Yorkshire. Yeah, as you could guess, it's terrifying. The story goes that Anne Griffith, one of the daughters of Sir Henry Griffith, who built the hall back in the 17th century, she was attacked and mortally wounded. Now, before meeting her sad demise, Anne had one request. She asked for her head to be kept inside the house forever. Just the head, just that one head, just that's it. The rest of her doesn't matter. Just the cool, awesome. When it was removed, supernatural disturbances occurred until the skull was eventually returned to its rightful place, I want to say. It's said that if the skull is removed, eerie noises and disturbances plague the hall. So, yeah. Oh, I shouldn't touch the mummy head from the 17th century? Ah, damn it. I always thought I could poke it. Easy. Number 9. Peche Island. A cursed island. How does that even happen? That's almost impressive. Peche Island, located in the Detroit River near Windsor, Ontario, revolves around the story of Hiram Walker. Walker was a Canadian entrepreneur who owned the island in the late 19th century, and legend has it that Walker planned to build a grand mansion on the island, but it was quickly thrown off its course by a series of misfortunes and tragedies, all of which is believed to be a part of this island curse. Now, the mansion was never completed, of course, and the island is now known for its ghost stories and tales of buried treasure. Yeah, you can't tell me that. You can't be like, oh, the island's cursed and forbidden, but also there's treasure there, so I don't know, may the odds be ever in your favor, I guess. Good luck. Number 8. Bela Lugosi's mirror. Best known for his role as Count Dracula, haunting off the bat, this mirror reportedly belonged to Lugosi, and it is said that he gazed into it frequently. Of course he did. It's a mirror. That's the only thing you can do. That's not exactly the crazy part. The crazy part here is after his death, the mirror is believed to have passed through various hands, with each owner experiencing disturbing occurrences, suggesting that the mirror may in fact be haunted. A haunted mirror, you're like, it's me, it's my face. I just roasted myself, I guess. These events have led to a legend that Lugosi's spirit, or something connected to him, is stuck inside the mirror. Do we break it and then release him? Do we not break it? Is that bad luck? What do we even do at this point? I don't know. Do you believe in a haunted mirror? Just cover it up. Problem solved. Put a doily over it. I'm like, I'm good. Number 7. Haunted chairs of Bellacor Castle. Haunted chairs, that's awesome. That sounds like the haunted mansion in real life, zipping around your house. That's amazing. The haunted chairs of Bellacor Castle in Newport, Rhode Island. They have a history of paranormal lore, if you want to call it that. That's the lore right there. A chair moves sometimes. It's a safety hazard really at this point. Watch your step. Built in 1894 by Oliver Hazard Perry Belmont, a really long name, the castle is known for its collection of antiques and artifacts, all that smell incredibly great and old and dusty and horrible to breathe in, including several chairs that are said to be super haunted. Everything else is just old and fine, but the chair's demon in that chair for sure. Visitors and staff have reported feeling a force pushing them out of these chairs, which I know must be frightening when you're sitting there, but when I think of that, it's hilarious. It's now a cartoon. Whoa! Baker's haunted wedding dress. Normally wedding dresses are reminders of the best day of your life, right? You look at it, you're like, yes, I was there, we're in love, awesome. At least that's what they're supposed to feel like. When it comes to the Baker's wedding dress, there's nothing but terror. Yeah, all in those laces right there. You zip it up, it's horrible in the back. In 1849, Anna Baker, a rich young gal from a rich Pennsylvania family, fell in love with a low-class iron worker. And her father did not want her to marry a man from the lower class, because how dare she do that, right? Ugh. He forbid the wedding, all that stupid old stuff, but unbeknownst to the father, Anna had already bought a dress. She was excited, she was in love, she was committed, alright? It was the 1800s, so there was for sure a no-return policy, so Anna remained single until the end of her days. She died in 1914, and rumor has it, she passed away with that very same wedding dress still in her arms. Now after that, the house was turned into a museum, because why, of course, and the dress is now said to move on its own within its display case, supposedly manifesting Anna's restless and unhappy spirit. It's amazing. There's a floaty dress. It's like a Spider-Man villain. That's the scariest one so far. Number 5. Robert the Evil Doll. First of all, Robert, it's not a scary doll name, but don't let it fool you, okay? This guy here, just as bad as Annabelle. A man named Rob Otto, he was given a doll that looked a lot like him, alright? This is how the story begins. You know how you get a doll that looks like you? Sure, that happens all the time. One of his servants who didn't like him made this doll for him. Yeah, you already know where I'm going with this one. It was a voodoo doll, right? Of course. Why would you accept this? This is obviously a trap. Neighbors would hear Robert talking to this doll. Robert and Robert, the podcast. Tune in. Awesome. Now, after Robert's death, the new owners of the house found that same doll in the attic, still there. Well, actually, their daughter found it. It was a pretty jarring experience. The family was haunted by this doll for years. They would hear threats coming from it. They would talk to them at night. Everything that you don't want to hear, it happened to them. So now the doll is on display in a museum in Key West. Do we believe in this one? I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical. Annabelle, maybe. Robert? Not as scary. Try again, pal. Fix your name first. Mandy the Haunted Doll. There we go. We got another doll. This one sounds a little bit more frightening. Apparently, the most malicious entities on the planet take the form of a doll. Who knew? Mandy the Doll. Remember this name. Mandy lives in the Quesnel Museum in Canada, and the staff at the museum insists that Mandy is kept in a separate display case. Because when Mandy shares a case with other dolls, these other dolls would magically end up being knocked over in the middle of the night. Turns out Mandy loves attention, huh? Staff also reported their lunches disappearing on occasion, but me personally, I think that they're reaching at that point. That's just a greedy coworker who's blaming it on a doll. That's a different thing. That's one guy. You gotta go find him. That's not the doll. Number 3, Pompeii artifacts. I love geology and history and all that stuff here on Bumblebee. It's great, but it's hard not to want to bring something home after you visit a famous landmark. But depending where you go, you could get in a lot of trouble for, stealing a rock. Sounds silly, but listen up. Pompeii, for example, once a flourishing Roman city located near the Bay of Naples in Italy. That was, of course, until 79 AD when Mount Vesuvius erupted and it buried the entire city and, sadly, its inhabitants under layers of ash and pumice. Now, the eruption was so powerful that it wiped out all of life within a 16-mile radius. Pompeii, of course, remained buried and forgotten for almost 1,700 years until it was rediscovered in 1748. Today, Pompeii is an archaeological site that offers a glimpse into ancient Roman life with well-preserved ruins of homes, public buildings, streets, artwork, you name it. It's all there. It's great. And there's a great amount of people who steal from this ancient landmark. Because of course there are. How to get cursed 101. This is how you do it. Tourists would steal fragments of monuments, literally pieces of the city, put it in their pocket and go home. But every year, roughly 100 packages get sent back to the archaeological superintendents, and most of them are accompanied with a letter explaining the bad luck that occurred with this piece of rock that they stole. So don't take things that don't belong to you. All right, cheers. Number 2, the Anguished Man. I mean, first of all, aside from its dark history, who would be able to look at this and have this hanging up in their home? This is terrifying. Imagine this on your wall. That's from The Conjuring. That's a horrible thing to look at. I would take that down immediately. The Anguished Man is a painting with history. It is said to be haunted by the spirit of the artist who created it, a man who mixed his own blood into the paint as he worked. Yeah, real artsy guy. I love when people do that. Awesome. Don't do that at all. The painting has been passed down through generations of the artist's family, but each owner has reported strange occurrences while in possession of the haunting piece. Some have claimed to hear whispers and moaning coming from the painting late at night, which is it's pretty scary. It's also kind of funny to imagine a painting just being like, you're like, what was that? That's kind of beautiful. Is that an E minor? Would you spend the night with this haunted painting? I would. I don't know. I'm a skeptic. I would just, again, not look at it. I would hang it up and then turn this way. It's kind of creepy. I don't know if I could do that. Now I get it. No way. Number 1, James Dean's car. Buckle in for this last one, folks. James Dean's love for fast cars was of course well known, and sadly because one of them led to his tragic death at the age of 24. He died by doing something he loved, which is, okay, some silver lining to it. Some are convinced that his cars were cursed the entire time. Dean's first car was involved in an accident that left him with a broken leg, and his second car, the one that he famously died in after colliding head-on with another vehicle, I mean, that's already too many. That's 2 accidents, that's 2 cursed cars. That's tragic history right there, but after Dean's death, that's when the hauntings begin. The Porsche was sold off and quickly became infamous for causing more accidents and more deaths. One of the owners even reported seeing the ghost of James Dean beside them in the passenger seat while they were driving before crashing. I would have crashed too. If I saw any ghost beside me, I'd be like, oh my god, that would be it, no matter what, James Dean or not. The car disappeared from public view in the late 1960s and has since been rumored to be hidden away by collectors who believe it to be cursed. Do you own the car? Is that you out there? Where is this thing hiding? I kind of want to take it for a spin. I don't know, I'm kind of weird like that. Would you drive in this car ever? Me neither. Those are the top 10 cursed artifacts that scientists can't explain. I'm Taylor McWaters. Pretty sure all this is going to get cut out at the end of the video anyway, so it doesn't matter. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.